Welcome back. My next guest is Nestor Aparicio here in Baltimore, positive 1570 AM WNST. Nestor, welcome in.
Everything's perfect in the sports world here, right? I mean, this
Uh,
is as perfect
for
as
them, for
of a
them, for
segment
them.
as we're going to
Yeah,
have,
for
right?
the moment, we got the good news, great news for the Ravens, great news for the Orioles. We have Hopkins, Terps, lacrosse. I mean, it's a fantastic time to be a Baltimore, Maryland sports fan these days.
Well, the Ravens are the most interesting thing, right? Like the Orioles offseason, it's not that the Orioles aren't interesting. They're playing every night. We sort of knew they were going to be good. And I mean, it's really kind of a tribute to Luke, who in the offseason said, why are they not making more moves? They could be really good. They could be better. All that being said, they'll probably have different pitching in August and September. I mean, I don't know much about Little John, but I would think that if they literally continue at this kind of a pace, that you would look to improve the team this year, that you would be looking to deal
Yeah,
and looking to win right here, right now, that there
yeah.
is no tomorrow. There's just now. So that'll be interesting for me when we get to the trading deadline, right? We get into July and August because this team is not going to back up. I don't think they're going to play 650 ball, but they're not going to be a 500 team. They're a
No,
really good baseball team. And to even complain about their off season is to probably not appreciate where they are right now, but they could have done more in the offseason. Now, the Ravens, because we indicted the Orioles for that back in February and March, we got ready for opening day. The Ravens, during all that period of time, were getting crushed by the national media, right? I
yep.
mean, part of this was the embarrassment of being cheap and cheapskates and all of this stuff. And Dennis, I don't want to be mean, but it's amazing how little some really big sports fans know about sports, right? Like, and I see these comments about, well, I'm just glad the players get the money. And I'm like, there's a salary cap. There's
Yeah,
a salary cap. Like,
yeah,
like this isn't about screwing Lamar. This is about, will we have enough money left to sign
yeah. NFL's a little
the
bit different.
next the next guy the kid we just drafted? Who,
Yeah.
if Zay Flowers turns out to be Torrey Smith, are we going to be the team that gives him $14 million a year 3 years from now? I don't know. But the Ravens in 2 weeks have gone from outhouse to penthouse in perception, right?
And perception.
I've never really believed that Lamar Jackson was the best quarterback or should be paid like the best quarterback. I'd like to see him stay on the field and play. I'd like to see him not run into linebackers. I'd like to see him throw the ball accurately. I'd like to see the offense do that with him if that's where they want to
Be a
go.
modern day offense.
I think they called this modern day in 19. I mean, Harbaugh was
I,
calling this a revolution, wasn't he?
well, it was back to the future, is what it was. I mean, when you were bludgeoning teams and they hadn't quite adjusted to Lamar Jackson and how to contain him, and they were scoring points instead of just winning the time of possession and coming away with no points in the red zone, which has been a difference the last couple of years. It was new, but now look, Todd Monken has a chance to take Lamar Jackson out of the phone booth, open up the offense. He's got him some weapons. Let's see what he can do. We know what the defense can do with
But
those
he's
bunch of
being
men.
paid to do it better than anybody's ever done it in the world, and I don't think he's going to be able to live up to that. And
Well,
I I'm not going to get negative. It'll be easy on the Mondays because they're going to lose football games, and he's going to lose. He's going to lose them football games. They're going to give him a chance to throw picks or throw touchdowns, and he's going to throw touchdowns and he's going to throw picks. And
he has 45 and 16 in the regular season. I mean that is probably, and of course it's a complementary game. It's offense, defense, special teams, but we can't ignore he's 45 and 16 when he's on the field.
but when they're in 3rd and 12, he'd run.
Well, now
Now
maybe
he's
he
going to
doesn't have to.
pass.
Maybe now that he has Zay Flowers and OBJ and hopefully a healthy Bateman and Andrews and everybody else and Dobbins, maybe he'll think twice about running.
Well, all of
We all would like to see him run less, for sure.
I don't know if we'd all like to see him run less. If we see him
Yes.
run less, we may see the team punting more.
Mm,
That's my point.
we'll see. Hey, we'll see
The
what he looks like.
biggest issue with the offense for me, and this is going back to 19 and the success they had, even in 20, even during the mask year, was that they were in 2nd and 2 all day long. They
Of
were in
course,
second and two
but
all
that's a
day
big
long.
key. That's a big key in the NFL. How you manage first down. If you're getting positive yard in the first down, and you have second and short, it's a lot easier than having second and long. Um, but also the Ravens, when they lost the game to the Titans back in 2019, uh, the Titans defense said they were easy to defend. the routes weren't dynamic. I mean, the schemes were not dynamic, and that's what we're hoping for now with some with Todd Monken is to bring this offense into the 21st century. That way, players are schemed open, and Lamar Jackson doesn't have to be hyper accurate. He can just throw it in the area where guys got 5, 10 yard separation on a defensive back.
Well, DaCosta has said that he didn't do a good enough job surrounding Lamar. Maybe he didn't do a good enough job surrounding Lamar. Now that they've given Lamar the cap number that they have, I don't know how this won't become there will be less talent around him theoretically. Now, I guess they could carry a cap number this year, next year. At some point, they're going to pay the piper for $52 million a year. And that 20%, if you don't address it early, becomes 24, 25% against your cap.
Absolutely. Sure it does.
You know, it becomes even crazier if you start kicking the can and say, well, we're going to have a $15 million. Hey, let's go sign another cornerback. Let's bring Peters on. We'll push the cap number. Let's load up to win right now. And look, there's always pressure to win right now, right? I mean, and there will be, much like the Orioles, if the Ravens are 7-2, you know, which not on, I mean, the schedule's coming out, we'll see. There's no thought that there won't be pressure that they have to win games in January. Sure. That's the next step here. The next thing here is, how do we beat Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, name another, Josh Allen, pick any of them.
Aaron Rodgers.
I
got to throw him in the mix.
I know you got that Joe Namath jersey in your closet. You know, we're going to be talking Jets with you all year.
Yes, we are.
But that's now the question, and they've now moved themselves back to head of class, where if you want to go up to Hollywood Casino and wager on them this year, they're back in line with contenders. And yes, more than that, this was about Lamar for 4 months. Now all of a sudden, we got a hotshot wide receiver, and we got another hotshot wide receiver, and we signed a cornerback that we wanted, and Rock Ya-Sin. So they have in 3 weeks changed their perception and changed the temperature of their season from, like, let's say opening day, from when the baseball season opened to now. They've moved into a place where expectations have gone through the ceiling in May, and they can't win a game until September. And are they really that much better than they were last year? Are they?
They were pretty good last year before Lamar got hurt. Roquan Smith, I mean, when Roquan Smith arrived and became the dude, right, on the primetime game in front of the entire nation, and shut down the Saints running game and took that defense from mediocre to top 5. And I think that's what's been lost with the Ravens, with all the talk about Lamar Jackson, Odell Beckham Jr., even Zay Flowers. What's been lost upon them has been the defense. And yeah, they lost Calais Campbell, and they may not bring back Justin Houston and Marcus Peters, but this kid, David Ojabo, been redshirted for a year. He may become a monster on the line. He may not, but with Roquan Smith manning that middle, Nestor, you gotta like their chances.
Well, they made that decision. You know, we talked
decision.
For 4 months that they gave him money long before they gave it to Lamar, right?
Yeah.
And they gave Roquan Smith more money than maybe the market would have given him, right?
But it was so far, it's been worth every penny.
Well, it's going to be worth every penny. And
so far, he lived up to that contract, right? And that's what you hope for as a GM, as a fan, as an executive. You hope that whomever you're paying lives up to and outplays their contract. And so far, Roquan Smith had been as good as advertised. I mean, he's been that guy.
Well, and that's why they paid him. And
so what I'm saying is, Lamar Jackson aside, I mean, this team is built to win now. I mean, they do that every year. They never rebuild. That's what I like about the Ravens. They retool, they reload, but they never rebuild. They're never 4 and 5, 4 and whatever 13 nowadays.
If they didn't make kumbaya with the quarterback, they would have been. That's where they would have been, right?
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know that rebuild, like one of those quarterbacks that was drafted last week, were pretty good out of the gate. I don't know which one, right?
That's the crapshoot, right? That's the crapshoot.
But they're not all.
Well, look at Lamar's year, right? You had Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, you had Josh Allen, you had Lamar, and who was the fourth? There was the fifth guy there. Again, how many of those quarterbacks have panned out? So you hit about 30 or 40% of the time on your first round quarterback.
The Mahomes guy worked out, and 10 teams passed on him, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to be inaccurate, undisciplined, etc. But yeah, he turned out to be okay.
Well, the Ravens know what they have in Lamar, and they probably know what they don't have in Lamar too, right? They probably know what hey, let's not put him in that position. Let's put him in this position. And I'm sure all that got chatted about with Monken. And I guess Monken will meet Lamar this weekend.
Yes, he will.
The playbook will be installed,
Yes, it
and
will.
here we go. Lamar's going to have $100 million in the bank by this weekend, right?
It's funny. Somebody asked me who's going to be the backup. I said Tyler Huntley. I mean, he signed for 2.7 million, and you probably have Anthony Brown. I mean, they brought this kid in from Delaware. I mean, you'll have a practice squad quarterback. I said, but their quarterback room is set.
Did
There
you
is a.
buy the Stetson Bennett jersey after the draft?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't buy the Bennett jersey. I thought they would draft him, but look, they passed. Somebody else picked him up.
Well,
I
Todd
think it was
Monken
the
must have not
Rams.
loved him that much, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
But
they only
hey,
had a handful of picks. I mean, in assessing the draft,
they did. But again,
you're a draft guy. I'm a draft guy.
yeah,
Old
they
school.
don't
We
have.
like 11, 12 picks.
Yeah,
That's
they
not
don't.
this year for them.
No, but they don't have that. They also don't have a lot of holes. I mean, they never have a lot of holes. I mean, last year when they drafted 11 players, I'm thinking, where are they going to put them all at? Right? We had what four fourth round draft picks. It was insane. Um, but I thought they got good value. I mean, the Voorhees kid from USC, he was this year David Ajabo. He's going to compete for a starting position next year at guard. I like when they pick guys for the trenches.
Well, that speaks to their organization, knowing that they're
They
still
are.
going to have a job next year. That's
Yeah,
the good side of
it
job for
is.
life,
It
right?
is.
Like
It is. Yeah,
we'll
they can
plan
play the
for the
long game.
future.
Yeah, they can play the long game a little bit, which a lot of teams they don't have the luxury. So if you
The
get a
Jets don't know
guy,
who their quarterback's going to be next year.
this is very true, and they gave up a ton to get this guy, right? But again, you got a desperate GM and Joe Douglas. We like Joe Douglas, and he's got to win now, or he'll be fired. I mean, that was his. You get Aaron Rodgers, or you're back doing whatever from whoever, but you're not going to be the GM anymore. So
You know how old pictures show up on Facebook sometimes when you
yeah.
think about them. The picture of me and Joe Douglas and Jimmy Schwartz holding the Lombardi Trophy at 3:30 in the morning in Minnesota.
There you go.
It was 12 degrees outside, and we're holding the trophy. And I'm thinking, and they both have Raven ties. Obviously, Joe deep Raven tie. Schwartz came off the boat with Marcia Broda and
Yes, he did.
Marvin and all that. So, in the case of the Ravens tree being places, I'll never hate on Aaron Rodgers or the Jets because I want to see Joe win and Joe do well.
Absolutely.
Andy Weidel is now with the Steelers, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not. Joe Douglas's best friend went over to work for the Steelers, so they had a really good draft. I don't know if you heard about the Steelers. So there's
a very good draft. Yes, they did.
They got purple blood up there in the confluence now.
Yes,
they got one of the guys out of our tree up there working. But the baseball side, are you going to go to another game? I know you want to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to go
we
to another game.
Because all my friends that have bitched for years like me, I mean, rightfully, I mean, when they lose 110 games, it's
for good reason.
I'm a bad guy when they lose. I'm a nasty sports journalist when they lose 110 games because I have, I love sitting here with a cup of Rofo coffee in my Cole Roofing mug on, first weekend of May and saying, we got a contending baseball team and we got a contending football team.
It's nice.
I did my job. I pitched enough to get them to work hard,
20 and 10, 20 and 10. They've got casual fans like me re-engaged. We're watching. I tuned in Wednesday night and watched them. They were down 2-0 into bottom of the seventh, and I figured they're going to come back, and then the wheels came off the cart. But I am watching every chance I get. It's a lot of fun.
Well, it hasn't been often the bullpen's done that to them, that they've gone negative in the last three innings instead of positive.
Right.
They score runs late. They do.
They do. Yeah, they're fun to watch, and you know what? It's good. It's entertaining. I like the team. I like the players. I like the coach. It's a good product. I'd like to see him get some help with the pitching. This is a 90+ win team if the pitching holds up, if they get some help. But I like you. I don't see this team spending money.
Wow. So we're going to go that direction, are we?
I'm
we
not
just
trying to be negative.
cheapskate.
I've never called.
I never payroll in the sport.
I never said. I never said that. We knocked the Ravens where they deserve.
You sold more in cars this month than they've had on payroll.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
No, I get it, but the Ravens, I never said they were a cheap organization ever. They're not the Bengals. They're known to take care of their players. But they've always said right player, right price. But they're not. You can't be cheap in the NFL. You got to spend.
Did they overpay for Lamar? In the end, are they going to get their money's worth from Lamar?
Well, it's like people say.
Is he going to win a Super Bowl? I mean, that's the question. Is he going to win a Super Bowl, Dennis?
He can. He's capable. It's like people say, who won the draft? Who had the best? I tell them, check with me 3 years from now. Check with me, in 2026. Time will tell. We can speculate, but time will tell. Do they have enough pieces? Yes. But just like all teams not named the Kansas City Chiefs, when you have a generational quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, they have a puncher's chance. They'll be in the playoffs, and then once you get in the dance, just like the 2012 Ravens, just like the 2000 Ravens, you got if you're hot and if you're healthy, you got a chance to win it all.
I love that in May you're just like they're going to be in the playoffs. That's good. So I won't plan my next Maui trip in January.
Well,
I'm
they've
going
been
to
in
lay
the
low.
playoffs for the last 5 seasons. I mean, I have data to suggest they're going to be in the playoffs. This is a playoff caliber team.
This is a better team than the last couple they've had.
It is on paper.
I mean, Roquan Smith makes them a better team.
Right. And barring
Odell
health,
Beckham
right?
should make them a better team. They've spent a lot of money on these guys. They better be good.
Oh, you got J.K. Dobbins playing for a contract. You got Patrick Queen playing for a contract. You got some hungry guys in this roster.
Got Rashad Bateman trying to make his way. Zay
some,
Flowers trying to make it.
They
got a lot of guys in that wide receiver room. You know what they're all going to say? Give me the ball. Give me the ball, Todd. Give me the ball, Lamar. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
That's what you want. You want that, though. You want that. You want guys that want the ball. Todd Monken said so. He likes those kind of guys.
You don't have an offensive coordinator that wants to hand the ball off, though, right?
Well, no, he likes running the ball. He likes running the ball. Of course he does. He likes balance. He likes running. He likes scoring points. How about that? Which is something that was lost upon Greg Roman. I think Greg lost his way. He got caught up into wanting to limit the other offense in terms of time of possession. Who does that? Your job is to score points. You don't worry about the time of possession works against you if you're not scoring points. You're going up and down the field, coming away with nothing. You're going for a fourth and short, and you come away with nothing. That's stupid. That's like when 2019. Oh, the Ravens are running the ball. The Ravens are scoring points. That's the job of the offense. I don't care. And I think
Todd Monken, 4th and 2 is still something they feel like Lamar can fall forward.
Okay,
maybe. And they're going to push that from any place on the field. I think that was more John than Greg Roman. That's John's philosophy,
but the objective of an offense is to score points. The objective of a defense is to stop the other team from scoring. Period. That's the game. Now, if you're up by 3 touchdowns, then you run the ball. Then you control the clock. Then you limit the opposition. But until you get to that point, you can't be down by 4 points and come away with 0 points in the red zone. You got to get at least 3. But when you turn the ball over, when you make stupid mistakes, when the guy jumps off sides or whatever you do, when the guy fumbles, when you fumble at the goal line in the playoff game, my God, those things are game and life-altering moments. But I do think I like them on paper, but they got to hold up. I mean, health has been a big issue for this team for the last several years.
Well, Dennis, I'll tell you what, man. We got the Maryland Crab Cake Tour back out on the road. We got baseball every day. We got this little horse race they're running on Saturday, right? And then we're going to run another horse race here 2 weeks from now. So we're going to have Bob Baffert coming to town. So this is, CFG Bank Arena next weekend's got it. Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson's sister's coming to town, man.
Let's go. I know you'll be there.
Anita Baker's here for Mother's Day. No, it's exciting. And we're getting good weather. It's
absolutely.
These are the good times. If I had it to do again to Mike Elias and I had something sort of wisdom to speak in his ear, when he looked at me and said, "I know who you are," and I'd say, "Yeah, I've been fighting for 2 decades for a guy like you to come in here and sanitize this." So the fact that we have a May and a Preakness month where football is on everybody's brain and these OTAs and what Lamar has to say at his press conference and all of that. But more than that, the baseball team every single night, that was the heartbeat of 25 years into owning WNST and 32 years into doing sports radio. The whole thing was predicated on, they're going to play 162 games and they're all going to matter. So the games matter for baseball. Football's up and running. If you love lacrosse, it's there for you.
Yes, sir.
If you love golf, it's there for you, right?
All good stuff.
So this is these are the good days. We made it out of the plague. We made it out. We even got a new arena, Dennis. That's how good things are.
A new arena that costs more to build than M&T Bank Stadium. So great stuff as always, Nestor. Keep doing great things. Enjoy this beautiful weather.
I appreciate you, Dennis. We'll see you soon.
There he goes, Nestor J. Aparicio here at 1570 AM. WNST will take a quick break and come back right after this.